Please offend me. Please hurt my feelings. I'm sincerely asking the free world. Insult me, hurt my feelings. Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and I am the man on the internet who claims that no one can offend me or hurt my feelings. I mean, you can try. I'll give you some freebies. Nick, your nose is kind of crooked. Man, look at that. It doesn't match up to your teeth. That's weird. Actually, look at all that gray hair in your beard. Are you losing your hair? You're only 5'9". That's kind of short. So if none of that worked, then someone could try one of those things that you're not supposed to talk about, like religion, for example. Someone could try to attack my religion, but ultimately, as for religion, my own understanding of my own religion is that I should always be prepared for people to attack me on that. And ultimately, if they don't believe what I believe, I'm not offended by that. I accept that the world is full of billions of people who don't have the same religion as me. I accept that. Okay, but what about politics? Well, see, there's a problem there too, because I'm apolitical. Democrats and Republicans can argue all day long. I'm not part of that argument. I'm sitting that one out. I'm not concerned with what they have to say. I'm not identifying with either. What about food though, Nick? People are very emotional about their food. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's address it. I'm a vegan. I've been a vegan for 4.5 years. The thing is though, I don't want anyone else to become a vegan. It doesn't change who I am as a person if other people become a vegan. It doesn't help my life if they become vegan. So what? Let them eat whatever they want to. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Okay, then someone would say, okay, Nick, I'm figuring a way to get you now. Nick, you're so arrogant, you're so conceited. Who goes around saying that they can't be offended? That is arrogance. That is pride. Okay? Then here's what I would say. I would say identity protective cognition. Identity protective cognition. Here's what that means. It means when a person has a belief that is so dear to their heart that it becomes part of their identity, that anything that anybody else says that goes against that belief only reinforces their belief. So for example, if I fundamentally believe that no one can offend me because I am the one that controls my own emotions, then as people attempt, it just reinforces, yep, you still can't offend me. You strengthen my belief as you attempt to insult me. Let's talk about pride though. What I believe is, I believe the root of being offended is pride. So we can say that I'm arrogant for saying you can offend me, but then I would reverse it back and I would say, pride is the root of being offended. Why? Identity protective cognition. Most people I've learned believe this about themselves, quote, I'm a good person, end quote. I'm a good person. So therefore, if I'm a good person, I deserve to be treated like a good person. Therefore, that person can't say that to me. I'm a good person. That goes against who I am. I'm a good person. So if I'm a good person, I deserve, that's a dangerous word, I deserve to be treated better than that. I deserve respect because I'm a good person. And that gets people in trouble because then they allow all these other people to negatively, emotionally affect them. See, but that's where I'm different. I don't believe I'm a good person, and I'm saying this sincerely. I don't believe I'm a good person. I don't believe that. So if people say I'm arrogant for saying you can't offend me, here's what I'd say. I'd say I don't think I'm better than most people. I'd say most people are better than me. So if most people were better than me, then of all people, why would I be offended? Because if someone says something that is an attack on me, I wouldn't say, but I'm a good person. I'd say, yep, that's me. I'm not as good as most people. Now, that's not to say that I have a low self-esteem. Obviously, I'm confident in myself. It's just that the way I understand things, imagine that there was a switch on my back, like a breaker switch. Whereas most people's is on, meaning they can be offended and they will let people negatively affect their emotions by what they say. Mine's off. Okay? So let's explore this for a moment. What if someone you don't even know flips you off on the interstate? Does that bother you? Does that affect you? A lot of people would think, who cares, whatever. That's how I am. But some people would be offended by that. Some people would allow themselves, so they would choose to be offended by that. What about this? Let's tone it down. What if it was just being obnoxious? What if someone is obnoxious and therefore you are annoyed because they're obnoxious? But what if somebody like me said, I agree that's annoying, but I'm not annoyed by it. I'm not affected by how they act. I'm just going to worry about myself. What about forgiveness? Forgiveness, is that a choice? No matter what someone does to you, is that a choice? Because wherever there's one person who says, well, I could never forgive that person because here's what they did to me, I could also find you another person who that same thing happened to them and they forgave the person. So to be annoyed, that's a choice. To forgive, that's a choice. And to be offended, it's a choice. It's a choice, and it comes down to pride, your identity. But I'm a good person. See, I don't think I'm a good person, but I do think that I have control over my emotions, and I get to choose whether or not someone offends me. So, again, I invite the free world. Please offend me. Please hurt my feelings. Just keep in mind, identity, protective cognition. The more people would even try to offend me or insult me, it only reinforces the belief that I have so much power over my own emotions that only I get to decide whether I get offended. So whatever is said to me, I get to decide. Do I want to give that person power over my life, over my emotions, or do I want to keep that intact? Identity, protective cognition. Go ahead. Please, I beg you, offend me. Please, hurt my feelings.